In this video, we will look at graph and analyze relationships, and you will need to turn your Go Math books to page 395 and get out your math journal and a pencil. And the essential question that we are going to unlock is, how can you write and graph ordered pairs on a coordinate grid using two numerical patterns? So let's take a look at page 395, and it reads, Sasha is making hot cocoa for a party. For each mug of cocoa, he uses 3 tablespoons of cocoa mix and 6 fluid ounces of hot water. If Sasha uses an entire 18 tablespoon container of cocoa mix, how many fluid ounces of water will he use? Now what we need to do, we're going to take a look at step 1. And before we even do that, let's take a look at that purple triangle in the upper right hand corner on page 395. It says, how many tablespoons of cocoa mix does Sasha add for each mug of cocoa? All right, now you can see 3 tablespoons. Also, how much fluid ounces of water does Sasha add for each mug of cocoa? 6 fluid ounces. So let's write both of those in the upper right hand corner of page 395. Now for this, we're going to take a look at the given rules in the problem to generate the first 4 terms for the number of tablespoons of cocoa mix and the number of fluid ounces of water. Okay, so for cocoa mix, 3 tablespoons, 6 fluid ounces of water. Okay, because we're trying to figure out 18 tablespoon container. All right, then after this, 6 and 12. Okay, for the next mug. Okay, for 2 mugs we could see. All right, and then 9, 18. And then after this, we can see 12, 24. Okay, and then moving down to 18, so they skip 15, okay, and then 30, but moving to 18, we have 36. All right, now what we want to do, we want to write the number that's ordered pairs relating the number of tablespoons of cocoa mix to the number of fluid ounces of water. Okay, so we have 3 and 6, and then after this, 6 and 12. Write these as ordered pairs. 9 and 18. 12 and 24. Oops, that's 40. It should be 24 there. Erase that. 12 and 24. These are the first 4 terms for the tablespoons of cocoa mix and ounces of water. Now what we can do is we can graph the ordered pairs. 3, 6, 6 and 12, 9 and 18, 12 and 24. Okay, so first of all, 3 and 6, we go over 3 on the x-axis, and we go up 6 on the y. Plot our point. 6 and 12, go over 6 on the x-axis and go up 12 on the y-axis. And then after that, we have 9 and 18, go over 9 on the x and go up 18 on the y-axis. 12 and 24, go over 12 on the x-axis and go up 24 on the y-axis. Okay, so what we will do, we will connect our points with a straight line, and I'm just going to use a different color of ink so we can see the lines that we have here. Not the straightest, but it will do for now. Okay, so hopefully your line's a little bit better than mine. Okay, now based upon this data, okay, we can see 3 and 6, 6 and 12, 9 and 18, 12 and 24. What rule can we write that relates the amount of cocoa mixed to water? Okay, 3, is it going to be adding 3? Well, no, because we have 6 and 12, 9 and 18, and so on. But we can easily see that it's just being doubled or multiplying by 2. Okay, so the rule is multiply the number of tablespoons by 2. So let's write that out. Okay, for step 3 on page 395. and then to answer the final question, so Sasha will use 36 fluid ounces of water if he uses the entire container of cocoa mix. Okay, because we have 18 tablespoons, the entire container, and using the rule multiplying by 2 will give us 36 fluid ounces of water. Okay, so let's take a look at that final question on page 395. It's not on my screen, so you will need to look at your book. It says write the final pair as an ordered pair, so 1836. Then graph and label it. All right, so we will write 18 and 36. Okay, we'll graph this, so we go over 18 on the X and go up 36 on the Y. All right, we will connect our dots there. Okay, then the next question they ask us, what do the connected points form? And why is this formed? So we can see the connected points do form a line. Now, why is a line formed? Is because the y coordinate is always 2 times greater than the x coordinate, so the points will always increase the same amount. Okay, so you can see even though my lines aren't exactly straight here, just due to my artistic deficiencies, should be a straight line, and it's a straight line because you're always doubling your ordered pair. Okay, let's take a look at this next problem. I have it down at the bottom of my screen. It says John is customizing an audio sound system. He needs to buy 3.5 feet of cable wire, but it is sold in inches. He knows there are 12 inches in 1 foot. How many inches of wire will he need? Okay, so thinking about the table and organizing the information, so we know that he needs to buy 3.5 feet of cable wire, but it is sold in inches. Okay, so how many inches will he need? So in 1 foot, there'll be 12 inches. 2 feet, 24 inches. 3 feet, 36 inches. 4 feet, 48 inches. Okay, now the rule that we're seeing is multiply the number of feet by 12. Okay, so you're multiplying the number of feet by 12. You can just write 12 there on that blank line. All right, now we need to go through our steps in graphing this information. Okay, so we have 1 foot is going to be 12 inches, 2 feet, 24 inches, 3 feet, 36 inches, and 4 feet, 48 inches. I want you to write these ordered pairs right there on step 1. Okay, now what we want to do for step 2 is we want to graph the ordered pairs and connect the points from the origin, which is 0, with straight line segments. Okay, so we do this. So first of all, 112. Okay, so we go over 1 foot and we go up 12 inches. 2 and 24 go over 2 feet, go up 24 inches on the Y. 3 feet, go over 3 on the X, and make sure we're up 36 inches on the Y. And 4 feet, go over 4 and make sure you're in line with the 48 on the Y. Now from here, we're going to connect these lines, and I'm just going to do this with red ink here. Do the best you can with straight line segments. Even using a ruler is very, very helpful. Okay, so we have the information graphed. Okay, so step 3, what we want to do, because we still have not found our answer yet, we want to use the graph to find the number of inches in 3.5 feet. Now 3.5 feet is between the whole numbers 3 and 4. Pretty obvious there. Okay, so we can see between 3 and 4. Now what we want to do is locate 3.5 on the x-axis. So you can see 3.5 is right here on the x-axis. So make sure you can see that. So since this ordered pair follows the same rule throughout, okay, you can see we're multiplying the x-axis by 12 to get the y-axis. What we can do is we can draw a vertical line starting at the 3.5 that intersects with our line here. Okay, that connects with the ordered pairs. All right, and then what we can do to find out how many inches 3.5 feet that are in 3.5 feet, we need to draw a horizontal line from that point left to the y-axis. So we take a horizontal line from that point, and you can see right there with my 42. All right, now what's the ordered pair for this point? We have 3.5, which is my x-axis, lined up with 42 on my y, so 3.5 and 42. That shows us how many inches are in 3.5 feet. So John needs to buy 42 inches of cable wire. Okay, what I want you to do now is graph and label the related number of pairs as ordered pairs, then complete and use the rule to find the unknown term. So I want you to complete the table, complete the rule, and then also graph the information. So this is number 1 on page 379. I want you to solve this problem by yourself. When you're finished, I'll have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, so you can see the answer. The unknown term was 10. You can see how I graphed my ordered pairs. You can see it's making a straight line. Why is it a straight line? Because it's the same rule for each ordered pair. Now let's take a look at another problem. I want you to work through this problem. When you're finished, you can press play. I will have the answer for you. Pause the video now. Okay, you can see the answers on my screen. Make sure they match up with yours. Okay, one last problem to do for the on your own. Work through this problem. When you're finished, you can press play and I will have your answer. So pause the video now. Okay, here's this answer for the on your own. You can see how I graph my ordered pairs: 2 and 10, 4 and 20, 6 and 30, 8 and 40, 10 and 50. Okay, multiplied number of inches by 5 to find the total distance, and you can also see how I plotted my points on the graph. Now taking a look at the test prep problem, I want you to work through this problem all by yourself. When you're finished, you can press play and I will have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, the answer is letter B. And moving to the essential question, how can you write and graph ordered pairs to a coordinate grid using 2 numerical patterns? And you can see the possible answer right on the screen. So this concludes the video on graph and analyze relationships. If you have any questions about this concept, please come and see me.